Hi everyone, and welcome to another car on this episode of the Collector Car Canada Car Reviews Podcast. Today we are looking at a 1996 Acura NSX-T, the T standing for Targa. As you see, there's a fixed back window in this car and a Targa roof which stows in the rear, and that's where it's sitting right now. So we're doing this one with an open roof. So 1996 Acura NSX-T. There's a hyphen in between the X and the T. So the Acura NSX, wow, what a car. This is a real benchmark breakthrough car. Acura, its parent company Honda, of course, it's known as a Honda in Japan, released the NSX for the 1991 model year. So they started hitting showroom floors in mid to third quarter of 1990. I still remember Acura placing a special insert in the Globe and Mail newspaper, a color ad for the brand new then 1991 Acura NSX. The horsepower ratings published in the ad were 270 horsepower, and the price, the MSRP without any options, was $79,800. So do your math with the Consumer Price Index, CPI, to figure out what that is in today's dollars. I haven't done it yet. So as I say, a breakthrough car for Honda, a breakthrough car for the industry. It was known to be the supercar that could handle around town like a Civic and just as reliably. So it's got a bit of a look of a Ferrari, and that's no coincidence. That's who Honda was after with the 1991 NSX. So as I say, this is a 1996 model, and it's been dressed up even more, especially with the Targa roof. So I'll start it, and we'll give the engine a listen as well as the exhaust. So it starts right up. I'm going to turn off that fan. This car reads 96,848 miles. So its new owner is going to find this car with under 97,000 miles. It's a U.S. market car, so that's why I'm speaking in miles on this one. So the engine on the NSX is not in the front. It's not in the rear. It's a mid-engine car. So mid-engine, by that we mean engine between the two axles. So I'll get the release here and open her up. So this glass raises first. That just pops up. Then there's a cover here. It's going to be considerably heavier with the Targa roof stowed. So the Targa roof is right under here, under this panel. It would be here if it were a cooler day, beautiful day today. And with the Targa roof, this does pop up like so. So here's a look at the engine. This is a 3-liter V6 engine. You can see the Honda badging. You can also see DOHC for double overhead cam and VTEC for Honda's variable valve timing system, which feels a bit like an 80s or 90s turbo. Give it some juice, it gets to a certain RPM, the valves open up, and whoosh, away it goes. So that's a good look at the engine and a little listen to the sound of it. We're fixed with a dual exhaust here, so let's take a listen to the exhaust pipes. And the lens that goes all the way across the rear, as the original NSX was known for. And here's the other set of pipes. So yeah, a red on black example. We'll close this glass. A red on black example, as I say. I'm going to cut the engine here. Those familiar Honda chimes. So taking a look around the car, as I say, it's a bright red paint, US market car. It does have a few aftermarket touches all of which are pretty easily reversible, I do believe. The wheels on these are by Fast, and they've been upsized. The car did come with what I like to call double staggered wheels, so wider in the rear than the front, but the diameter is also bigger in the rear than the front. So these wheels are by Fast. They're skinned in a set of Continental Extreme contacts. There's more information about the sizes and speed rating on our listing, but 18s in the front with a very good tread, 19s in the rear also with a good tread. These tires are a little dated though. 2014 is the date code on the fronts, 2016 in the rear. So just taking a look around at the car, here's a good angle of it from the front. The grass we're on is a little long. It looks like the front spoiler touches the ground. It's actually the grass is overgrown a little bit. And there's a bit of scuffing on this front air dam. There's a better picture of that on our listing. Pop-up headlights, sort of the thing to have in a performance car of the day. Just wandering around to the side. Of course, with that mid-engine, this is an air intake. There's one on each side for that to feed that mid-engine power plant. Neat look at the Targa roof, or well, where the Targa roof would be. It's not in place right now. And this car has been emblazoned with Ayrton Senna's autograph, as you see there. There's one on each side. And as you probably saw, each door by the door latch release has the NSX logo, and there's the Ayrton Senna autograph again. And then it's found back here as well, above the left side of dual pipes. And here's a look at the rear of the car. So a very sleek, low look. And that spoiler is fixed into place. And the center brake light, I'm not sure if we can see it with the video, but the center brake light is LED and it spans across the entire spoiler. So it's quite a light show when this car hits the brakes. Okay, and on the inside, we see a few more aftermarket touches. This steering wheel, I wish I could think of something to give you for perspective. There's a shot of my hand, and I'm not blessed with basketball player hands. You can see it's a very small circumference Momo steering wheel. It does have a horn button in the center, which is functional. And another aftermarket touch is we can see this deck, or this head unit. I'll give you a look at that in a moment, but I'll show you the rest of the dash first. Air conditioning, HVAC system. It's, as you see, it's got an auto setting, a digital readout. I can show you that. So working our way to the center stack, there is a sort of a classic look of the period digital clock at the top, a couple of fan vents. We've got our HVAC system with auto climate control, as we see here. This is the aftermarket upgraded deck, the head unit by Clarion. Shift knob has been upgraded. It's it might be a brass, I'm not sure what metal that is, but it's a hard metal. But even so, the gearing, it remains labeled. Just the handbrake here, and that's a stock piece. This is, I call it a storage compartment because this is not a cigarette lighter. It's just an outlet for 12-volt charging. Nice thing to have, especially in a 1995 car. You don't always see those. I'm going to start it up so we can show off the pop-up headlights. I think that'll give you a picture, so I'll pop them on. So, a fun little touch of an 80s and 90s sports car, and fully functional to this day. So along the side, again, this car was in the $80,000 to $90,000 range in Canadian dollars when new. So it comes with the appointments you'd expect. I really like the draping of the finish here on the door card. Power mirrors, power windows, and power locks. more vents here. Another nice Honda touch of the period, when you're running your defrost, there are vents here. So those blow vents here inside the door, you can see that the air will blow from here through to here in the door, and then upward to blow hot air to help defrost the door windows, not just the front windows. This car, you didn't see it when I showed you the exterior because the windows were down. You might have noticed in the rear, but you can see this sunshade. Got tinted windows here, keeps it cool. We've got some neat NSX floor mats, and this piece of the stereo, I believe that's an amplifier. It probably needs to be tightened up, and we can also see some loose carpet over here, and that's as a result of the stereo installation. This car came to Canada in 2005, and that's about when this booming stereo was installed, to the tune of about $6,000 at the time. Interesting way to organize the stocks. Here's your wipers, a common Honda piece at the time. 4 ways up here, as well as cruise control operation. And we got our turn signals, lights, and rear defrost is right there. We got a big speaker in each door. There's also a center speaker in the rear here. And this car's been outfitted also with these NSX. It looks like embroidery. Look up close. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but these are actually decals, so easily removed if that's what the new owner prefers. Just looking at the instrumentation then, as we see, the odometer reads 96,848 today, so it's going to its new owner at under 97,000 miles. We can see the speedometer is in miles, with maxing out at 180. And with my old eyes, I think I see 260 in kilometers an hour, but don't quote me on that because I can't read it without my glasses. A screaming tack with a 9,000 RPM max, red line at 8,000. So that makes use of that Honda VTEC technology I was describing earlier, where those valves open up in the higher rev range. I once owned a 2000 Prelude SH, and that happened at about 4,800 RPM in that car. Flanked over to the left with water temperature and oil pressure. Over on the right, fuel level and alternator reading. So with the change in steering wheel, there's no driver airbag in place here, but we can see the SRS, familiar SRS symbol over here. So it's equipped with a passenger airbag. Okay, so that wraps up our little look at the 1996 Acura NSX-T. Again, the mileage reading just under 97,000 miles. A US market car. It was imported into Canada in 2005, and the RIV.CA decal remains in place on the driver's door jamb. You can see that on our detailed listing. There's a photo of it. So find it on CollectorCarCanada.CA. We're filming this one a little in advance. I don't have a lot number for you yet. But if you search 1996 Acura NSX-T on our website, you're going to find it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.